All right, welcome everybody. This is week two recap for the Stunty Cup, the Windy City Stunties. This is
Yep.
Goblin Rain here with,
Big Chuck. Hey, how's it going?
yeah. So this week was an interesting one. I'm gonna dub this week the week of the MNG big guys because there's at least two of them that went MNG this week.
That's some interesting numbers. Big guys don't go out that often in Stunty League.
Yeah, so I'll get to it when we get to his game, but there's one in particular that did terrible this week. So I do have the recast currently uploading. I think on YouTube it says it has 23 minutes. So by the time we're done with this, the recast link should be up for this week also, which is me, clipping out the games and doing the best I can to give a play-by-play or be amusing or just fill time, depending on what day it is. So the first
Sounds
game
good.
up was that absurd ogre team, the elite of the worst, versus the extreme right wingers. Did you catch any of this? Any of the games this week besides
I
ours?
I have to fully admit I have not watched any games this week. It was not my week for things Blood Bowl last week, so I will do better in the future. But no, I didn't catch anything this week.
All right, so this one saw quite a number of injured stunties, as you would expect. It ended up a 1-1, which was interesting to me. I just remember ogres taking halflings off the pitch, and I think it had like a semi-potato play, if I remember correctly. But the halflings took 27 blocks to the ogres 35, so it wasn't that out of proportion, oddly enough.
Yeah, that is surprising when the ogres and the halflings stay even on blocks and relatively even on removals as well.
Yeah,
Pretty big SPP game for both teams.
yeah, and I think this one, if I remember, I think this one saw a foul on the movement up ogre that was a perm that I think it was an agi bust that he appoed into an MNG or something, if I'm remembering correctly. Again, the recast will be up, which has all this, but I seem to remember the movement up ogre being busted this game.
Man, that's a rough piece to lose. The movement. So did it take a? What did you say the injury was? The
I
movement up
think, I
ogre took.
think, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, I think it was an agi bust that he appoed into an MNG. So I think it's okay.
Okay.
It's just going to be missing a little bit, if I
Yeah.
remember, and I could be remembering wrong.
Take root being fantastic for the Flings. They successfully made 17 out of 18 of their take root rolls.
Right? And boneheads weren't behaving. 58 and 17. You got a 77% bonehead rate. That's a rough day.
Yeah, not great.
Uh, Whichever ogre team it was that had four ogres was literally like 50% for failed boneheads. It seemed with like three ogres on the pitch. They were doing terrible this week, but they behaved by the end. So this game, Hammond Zimmer's team is just absurd.
Yes, it
He's
is.
got a pylon ogre, and I think the pylon. I know he used it at least once for a tree because I remember yelling belly flop when I was going
Yep.
over it. So and he's got a couple block break tackle guys. Like his team is just sickly disgusting with how good it is.
I'm seriously considering just stopping taking piling on all my pieces because for a while I've been using it a lot, and it just doesn't do anything.
Oh man, yeah, you're piling on. Sounds like every time I take Claw Mighty Blow into Clan, it just takes 6 games and doesn't do anything. Yeah,
It's funny how it works for some people. So, Common Zimmer, good on you for making it work out.
yeah, he broke tackle quite a few times. So the next game is Striker's turn to get chainsawed this week, and there was at least one occasion where the chainsaw was used on a tree.
Fitting, fitting.
Yeah, and again, his tree injured a halfling. Striker is his own worst enemy there.
Yep.
But I believe that's an MNG. I believe his tree is MNG, the one that's injured. Biscuits and Gravy O'Grady. I feel like that's an MNG. I could be wrong. We'll have to check the teams. But this game, the
Yeah.
Goblins, man, are off on a tear. They just they're just doing things, and they didn't even have inducements. There were no bribes, and the Goblins went off. And the Goblins didn't even use their wizard. They were in Striker
Just
Stadium, and they didn't even use their wizard on him.
how do you not use the wizard? You have to use the wizard.
And it's not like there wasn't a reminder. I think he used it on them to prevent them from scoring for one turn or something, but I don't think they used theirs on him. Because I remember
Whoa, whoa,
one
whoa.
of them didn't use their wizard in this game, and I don't know how you do that.
There was a single chainsaw roll? Am
Oh,
I
that was
reading
against the
this
tree
right?
then. If there was only one, then it was against the tree.
There was only one? That is insane. How did the chainsaw only chainsaw one time? Did it get thrown out immediately?
No, it wasn't in the first half. His weapons were second half.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, yeah. It was. I, I don't know how often how used to playing goblins Rusty is, but he knows his stuff, man.
Oh, I was gonna say when he played against me, he seemed like he was well aware of how to play goblins.
Yeah, yeah. He seems to know what he's doing, and he's getting better results. Well, I took a crap build last season, which didn't help, but he's getting stuff done right here with his
Yep.
goblins. But
I
again, he
think
didn't have
Rusty's
many
one to
inducements this
watch.
game.
This may be our champion in the making right here.
It may be if he can beat Common Zimmer. It's gonna it those two, man. They'll probably play next week with the way Swiss works, right?
Yeah, with the way Swiss works, they're well, the extreme right wingers and the elite of the worst tied, so they could play either one of those, but likely playing one of those two.
Yeah, and with the bowl season, we'll see how that plays out. So the next game is Uncles and Cousins and Cult of Strength, and poor Puke's internet went out, so this is just an admin game.
Yeah, yeah.
He did get 5 SPP on a skink, and I forget where the other 3 went. Probably another skink. Uh, but unfortunate, they had the game played, and then his internet went out for like 3 days or something, and there was no chance to reschedule. So
I think that 3 SPP went onto the Croxagore there, sir. It says John Cena. I got to go take a peek now, real quick, just to.
did he get SPP did he get a Crocs touchdown? That would
Crocs
be
touchdown. Crocs touchdown was scored.
so. Puke, if you're watching this, if you see this, I do feel bad since your internet came up today that we didn't hold for a day. But it sounded like you guys couldn't play today or tomorrow. But as a consolation, you get a Crocs touchdown as a consolation prize. So
I'll take that. I'll take
yeah.
that.
So next up is Grazy versus that side of the family. And this game, his troll was injured turn 3. So turn 1, his troll was doing stuff. Turn 2, his troll was doing stuff. Turn 3, his troll gets injured, and it's an MNG. And he has an Apo. Now I have an Apo because I don't know why, but he has an Apo, and he burned it on the troll, and it didn't do anything.
Okay.
It was still an MNG. And then the troll fails regen. So turn 3, his troll has burned his Apo, got an MNG'd, and failed to regen. That troll is the teabag of the week for that, because it was doing
absolutely.
stuff. And it just
losing 3 coin flips in a row, that deserves the teabag play.
Yeah. So, and then I think, was it that side of the family? Let me check my leaderboard sheet, which I have written incorrectly, but I think it was, yeah, I think that side of the family is the one who had a 2-for-1. I'll have to
Surf
check.
and removal, double
Someone
removal.
with an ogre team had a 2-for-1. They got a KO on a chain surf, so that they KO the piece they hit and surf the piece the same turn. And it was glorious to see. I'll have to check on exactly which team it was. I still got my notes open here.
I'm going to say it was not this one
No,
because I don't see any surfs.
No, it was Basement Guy. Whichever team Basement Guy is on, he's the one who did it. So it's either this or Uncles and Cousins.
Oh, no, the basement guy is on this team. That's that side of the family.
Yeah.
I thought it showed surfs on the statistics page. My bad.
Does it show surf there? Well, because he didn't surf it. It was a chain surf. He didn't actually hit the piece to surf it.
Oh.
He KO'd a goblin and chain surfed a piece. So it might not be counted right.
Interesting.
Because Basement Guy KO'd a goblin and chain surfed another. And then I think it was this game also where it might have been this game. There was like 6 turns from like turn 4 to turn 7. Not 6 turns, but like 3 or 4 turns where there was a bunch of goblins massed around an ogre waiting to push it out of the sidelines, and it just took them like 3 or 4 turns to surf him. But they did surf the ogre eventually, but it just took forever. I was like, if he surfs him this first turn, on turn 4, I was like, he surfs him, It's gonna be brilliant. It'll be the play of the week. And then like 3 or 4 turns later, he goes out. And I'm like, oh well, I can't give that play of the week. That took too long. But
I just picture a slow motion surf, like he's just slowly stumbling backwards, waving his arms,
well,
and then
every time
finally
he would
goes
hit a
into the crowd.
goblin and be another pace further out, but it was like 6 of them. So they just kept going like, no, get back there. We're trying to get you out. He's like, no, you're not. And I don't know. It was quite amusing how long it
That's
took.
fantastic.
And of course, 5 or 6 goblins is like half your team too. That's like half the team on one big guy trying to get him out of bounds to not be on the pitch. This one was a good game to watch. I feel bad for Grazy because it was. Now Striker's game was worse. Striker ended the game with 2 halflings on the pitch.
Mm-hmm. As he does.
After one stood up from a KO.
Yep.
But Grazy's game was pretty sad after the troll went out. That's the other reason the troll has to get the teabag of the week, is he just really left him hanging against the ogres. Like, you can't do that.
Yep.
You know? The troll's only job is to take a punch. And last up, there's your game against me, where your Crocs got MVP, and I just had a rough time with lizards being high movement pieces.
Yeah. Lizards executed the plan perfectly, which is get lucky on a deep kick and then separate the ball from the rest of the team.
Now, I did get a lot of your pieces off the pitch by the end of the game, but it wasn't enough. It was enough to turn you over and score, but not nearly enough to win.
Yeah. It's one of those things that the reason this is a 2-1 game is we got touchdowns early, and then the team fell apart, but not fast enough. It's very much like playing Wood Elves, in that the goal is to score touchdowns and then fall apart slow enough that your opponent can't win.
I feel like that's more a pro elf thing than a wood elf thing. A wood elf thing is to keep your war dancers on the pitch and murder them with 2 pieces so they quit Blood Bowl forever. Pro elves are fairer in that they collapse more easily and aren't quite as overpowered.
That is reasonable.
Is it? Is it really?
I mean, it's accurate. How about that? It's accurate.
So the only reason S Hunter plays pro elves is he wants us all to have a chance. Is that where that's going? I don't know.
I'd believe it. S Hunter, man, is he able to do things with like 3 guys? It's
having
ridiculous.
Played games where he had 5 elves on the pitch and still somehow swept around me like I wasn't even there. It's not fairer. It's still unfair. He's just too good.
Yeah.
So yeah, my goblin though now has horns. I have a dedicated blitzer from this game.
Very nice, very nice. And my team recovered, and I think got back up to 11 players after that one.
Did one of them roll a double and get block again?
No.
Not yet? That's coming?
No, I don't think there were any levels out of that game, or if there was, it was a normal, and I got like sidestep or something.
Your Crocs is close now, though.
Yep, the Crocs is close.
He just has to eat one more Nobbler.
Yep. And then after that, he either rolls doubles or goes to the glue bin.
Yeah, and you have ogres next week, actually.
Yeah. So
let's step up to next week. We have extreme right wingers. The halflings get to take on the goblins first. So let's go look at reciprocating Sawzall. I thought he was going to score on the saw again. I really thought he was. He moved like he was going to, and then I think his saw got stunned. He was trying to get the saw up there to score on it, and it got stunned, and he just said, "I'll just win instead."
Okay, I have to pick on Rusty a tiny bit here. He took guard on his troll.
What's wrong with that?
In a stunty league, and
but that means that you can
what are you guarding
against? You can take all those 2 dies with your other goblins.
I mean, your goblins, yeah. You just, what is guard doing for you? You're not playing a fight. Like, there's no fighting going on here. Not like that. This is sniper wars, not line up and punch each other like dwarves.
I mean, what would you take what would you take otherwise though? I mean, there's break tackle.
You saw what I took. Break tackle is on guys who are, loner, really stupid, not so great. I took stand firm and grab. What does stand firm and grab do? Once I have someone next to me, if I punch them and it's a push, you stay next to me. You have to roll to get away from me.
You know
Stand firm.
what?
If you try and knock me down, I'm staying where I'm at.
Actually, on a Goblin team, I would kind of prefer Jugs.
Jugs, I accept
Because
jugs.
then you don't have to worry about the 1 and 9, right?
Yeah, sure. Turn it into a push. That's fine. Like any other skill is going to get more mileage than guard. I realize guard's the correct choice in any like normal any league that resembles a normal league. Yeah, you take
Now,
guard. Guard's great.
now, do
But
you feel the same way if you think about him playing ogres? Because he says I'm on top and the ogres are coming to the top. Because there's
you,
3 ogre teams in here. Out of 10 teams, 30% are ogres.
you don't get to fight ogres that way. Like
Okay.
they have four
I
and
don't know
five
what I'm talking
ogres.
about. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, it's I mean, one with all the ogres on those team, they're probably going to have more guard than you. and
But they
uh
don't. That's the funny thing. They all have like
and
break, tackle, and block.
and that's fair. Even if they don't, though, they've just got more strength 5 guys than you, and all they need to do is get a single assist. Like guard means they have to get 2 assists. Um, it's real hard to stand and fight with ogres. With ogres, the key to victory is removing all the snotlings, and then they're kind of like a lizard man team. They've got these strong guys that can't do anything with the ball.
I think one of the ogres in this league is Agi. No, that might be the other league I'm looking at. The other league's Agi 3. Yeah, they don't have an
Yeah.
Agi 3 yet. Yet. But
If
Agi
they get an
2
Agi 3, then you need to snipe that one. But
Agi 2 is sufficient. As
it,
anybody who's
it's
played
okay.
Shorps or Kemri knows, Agi 2 is sufficient. It's not good, but it's enough.
It is. It is. But you then even have to worry. Ogres are slow.
Well, that's true.
Um, ogres get marked easily by stunty things, and most of the time, unless you've got break tackle, it's hard to get away.
Or unless you've got
Yeah,
block when you just murder them.
yeah, yeah.
And Common
So
Zimmer has both, but nobody else has anything.
yeah, I think I'm not a huge fan of guard here. Maybe it's okay in those ogre matches, but in general, I don't think you're going to get a lot of mileage off of it.
We shall find out. I'm gonna keep doing the recasts, and we'll see.
Okay, who's he playing against?
Extreme right
So
wingers.
we've
He's playing
covered
against
that.
Nilly Man,
Nilly Man.
whose sole level up is diving tackle on a halfling, and is on 11 halflings or 11 players with halflings.
Mm-hmm.
He does have plenty to buy more if he wants, but
I mean, at 680 team value, I don't know if you want to bloat too much, you know.
is 13 halflings bloat?
No, like you can go up to 14. It's fine.
Last week he had both Deep Root and Morg against
That's
Common Zimmer.
ridiculous.
It was 6 ogres against 2 trees, Deep Root, and Morg. Okay?
I mean, I will tell you right now, as someone who's played ogres and stunties before, one of the most frustrating things in the world is being the ogre team coming up against a halfling team, and they just have more big guys than you and stronger big guys than you, and their halflings are strength 2, and all your things are strength 1, and it just is not fun at all.
Yeah, right? Like, they've got strength 6 trees that have stand
Mm-hmm.
firm, and they've got
Mm-hmm.
strength 7 Deep Root, and they've got strength 6
Yep.
Morg with block, and
Mm-hmm.
ouch.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not fun. I mean, yeah, you get 6 ogres if you're capped out, but they get 4 things that just don't need assist to block you.
And their things can still punch when they fail their roll.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, Nilly Man, like, I don't, was he in last season? Did he play last season, or did he join this season?
I don't remember. I think he may be new this season, though.
Yeah, because he's doing pretty well for himself, also, with stunties.
Yeah, Nilly Man, excellent coach. Not surprised at all to see him doing well.
So, next up is the Elite of the Worst versus Uncles and Cousins. So this is going to be an ogre off. So let's start with the Elite of the Worst, because as of right now, they appear to be the highest TV team.
Mm-hmm.
They beat you out by a little bit.
Yep, absolutely.
And look at number 14.
Yeah, that's a great piece.
You like
I
that?
love it.
Do you?
I love it. Now you just need doubles for Dirty Player.
Okay, or another strength
Yeah.
up. Sure.
Yeah, another strength up. Yeah, another strength up is great. You don't get a strength 3 Noblar without having a strength 2 Noblar. That is something
Why
a
would you
smart
want
person told me.
110k Noblar? Why would you
To
want
do all
that?
your
Or
blitzing, like you're
120k
not,
even?
you don't have to roll a bonehead roll to blitz with him. I mean, it's pretty straight up, right?
But that's like a war dancer cost.
Yeah.
Okay.
So turn him into a war dancer. Get some leap and get some
Strip
maybe some
ball?
frenzy. Yeah, frenzy strip ball.
All right.
Great.
So, number three. Number
Real,
three, though.
real,
Yeah, so
real
I was
talk.
right. I was right. His movement piece got MNG'd, and I think that was an Agi bust that he appoed into MNG.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
number three is absurd.
Yeah,
Handsome
it
beard,
absolutely is.
and
Block, break tackle, piling on. That's a blitzer.
well, and then he's got I don't like lizards as a backup.
Hmm.
This man has stolen your level ups. I
Absolutely.
don't know what dice hack you use on the level ups, but this man has stolen it, and he is going to murder us all.
You
We can
know,
only hope he gets distracted by the murder and forgets to play the ball. But so far, that has
I
not happened.
I do want to go back to that strength 2 Noblar for just a second, just to say, imagine a world where you do roll doubles on it. And I know other teams don't need the strength up in order to do this, but if you do get doubles on it, the one thing a Noblar has that other people don't is the Titchy. So it's already a 2+ dodge in to a cage. And if you get strip ball on a strength 2 piece with a 2+ dodge in on a cage, it's pretty good.
That is true, but Underworld Goblins can do that at 90k. This guy will cost 100k, so he's 10k more than that.
Yeah, he's 10k of bloat for being a
And then the
Noblar.
Underworld Goblin takes horns, and you cry yourself to sleep with your Strength 2 Noblar. But no, that's true. That's true. If he rolls doubles, I mean, and strip ball is amazing in this type of environment. That's fair.
Yeah,
Then you just
it
need doubles
actually
again
can
for
be.
wrestle.
Yeah, or block because you're already blotched up and just be that annoying.
No, that's fair. That's fair. He just seems so expensive, but I guess whatever. What else are you gonna do with a Noblar?
Yeah, I mean, fire it is probably the correct choice, but this is stunties. Have fun.
Well, and until it starts costing him games, what's it matter?
I mean, whenever I played my initial ogre team, I said I would not retire anything except through, paying the iron price, and I ended up with a Noblar that was strength up dirty player,
Well, why'd you
and
take Dirty
it
Player?
because why not?
Okay, I can't argue that.
It was great. Actually, I think it was dirty player first, and then took the strength up.
Oh, that makes more sense. So next up is
Yeah,
Uncles and
yeah.
Cousins, which is Little Bit's ogre team.
Okay,
He has two level ups. He has an Agi 4 Noblar, because why not?
that's pretty great.
That helps him land better, that helps him throw better, that helps him catch better, it helps
Pick
him
up.
pick up better. Does not help him dodge any better.
Yep.
Except against your singles, except against a sword or a Crocs. It does in fact help him
I
against a Crocs.
think that's true. I think that's true.
Yep. And then he's got a
And
break
anyone
tackle
else
ogre.
who ends up with tail in this league.
I only induce them. I don't actually buy them.
Yep. Break tackle ogre is great. Just need more ogre
Yeah,
and
so
more
he's
Noblars.
he's 310 TV down, and and he has 11 men against 16 that Common Zimmer has, and he has 5
Mhm.
ogres to Common Zimmer's 6, and his ogres don't have nearly the skills. So I
Right.
hope he takes a chainsaw and murders them or something. Do
Yep.
ogres even get a chainsaw?
I don't think so. Ogres for inducements, I think you're limited to like
Other
Bertha
ogres?
and yeah, other ogres. That's
Yeah,
like pretty
there's
much it.
Bertha. Who else is it? There's Bertha and Morg, and like there's is there another one like Garthik or something?
I know
Arthric?
there's some things in tabletop, but I don't know what else there is
I feel like
in.
there's one other ogre star player, but I'm not remember his name. Brick Farthnick or something? I don't know.
Uh, yeah, brick might be. Yeah,
Like
I'm not
you
sure.
under you. I know I'm saying it wrong, but like you understand who I'm saying probably.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I think that's tabletop only.
Hmm. Sad.
Yeah.
So that I think that'll be rough for little bits, but maybe he can pull it off.
Yep. Yep. I think you can induce Bertha, and then you've got a decent group of ogres to go head to head.
It's fair. It's just all that block and
It is.
piling on.
It'll be an interesting game. Like ogre versus ogre is, yeah, that's a matchup.
So next up
It
is
comes down to who's stupid.
right. So I guess with the star player ogres, you're less stupid.
A little bit,
Eh,
not too much.
well, I guess that depends on
All
how
right.
you use them. So
Yep.
next up is you versus that side of the
That's
family. So let's start with your
so.
team. See how they're
All right.
doing these days. 1,200. I think they're the second highest TV, despite a trimming against Rusty.
Yep. We did get back up to 12 players. It looks like so. We have a bench again.
A singular bench, but you've got two sidestep and a diving tackle, so you can do the sideline thing.
Hmm.
And your Crocs is
And
good, man.
yeah, and about to level again, and hopefully he'll roll his double that he is due, and hopefully Lightning and Bolt will level up and roll his double as well,
May you be
and then
cursed
we'll
and
be
roll
golden.
boxcars on your Crocs.
If I roll box cars on the Crocs, I'm taking block or tackle, probably tackle.
You're not gonna go up to the sixth strength. That doesn't help you
I've
any.
I have went down that road before, and I will never have another Papa.
You know what makes me truly sad is that so far we don't have anybody with multi-block in this league for when they're getting swarmed by snotwings.
One of the ogre teams will end up with it, and I'll tell you this as well. I've had multi block on an ogre before, and it's actually just still hard to use unless you're playing another ogre team.
Really,
So yeah, well, one because no one ever puts two things on an ogre because why would you? Especially if it's got multi block.
you
And then
missed the
if you
4
do,
turns of goblins trying to push an ogre out of bounds.
if
There
it
were
had
literally
multi
4 or
block, they
5
wouldn't have
goblins
tried.
based on that ogre every turn.
And that's the other thing. If there's 4 or 5 things around you, all of a sudden, like you need a lot of help to be able to do those multi blocks. So
No,
it's
you need like one friend to turn half of them off.
right, yeah. But you need some amount of help to be able to
That's
do
true.
that. Yeah. So yeah, it's not as easy. Like it gets you blocks on the line of scrimmage, but you're getting those anyways most of the time. So it's kind of marginal.
That's fair. I'm still
I
sad that we're
tried it.
not seeing it, but that's fine.
I
So
wanted it to be better.
against you is Tater Spiro's that side of the family. His team looks a whole lot like the last ogre team we talked about, but with only 4 ogres.
Yep. So one with break tackle, one diving tackle Noblar that I'll need to deal with. And the rest of this is not too.
But
Only 2 rerolls. Very trim on the rerolls.
you're giving up 290 in inducements though, so
Mm-hmm.
he could also take Bertha and bolster his ogre numbers.
Yep, can take a Bertha. Um, you unfortunately aren't able to induce like a dirty player, which is sad.
Yeah, because nobody on these teams has general access.
Yep,
Unless you're a cheater and take like a Saurus or a Rat, and that's cheating, so no.
yep, yep.
You can take a
So
sneaky get. You can induce a sneaky get.
you could,
That skill's not as bad as
um,
people think it is.
but inducing like a diving tackle versus me might be better,
That
especially when
that's
it comes to
probably true.
sidestep.
That's probably
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
All right. Next up is Cult of Strength, Puke Puke versus Brunch Time. So let's look at how Cult of Strength looks right now. 1,000 TV. Have they played games?
Yeah, they have, and there's a bunch of SPP everywhere waiting to be cashed in.
Yeah. This Crocs is 1 TD or 2 injuries away. Got a bunch of
Score
skinks that are close.
score a TD on that Crocs. It's easy. Agi one, not that bad.
Um, he's playing striker. Probably he is playing. Yeah, he's playing striker. Probably there won't be any halflings because striker will have thrown them all and broken them.
Yeah,
So
and then you just score on John
then
Cena.
I guess you do have to score. You go for the pass to him because why not? And then you score with him. Easy peasy.
All right. Very nice. Very
And how's
nice.
Striker's team look these days? I think he has an MNG tree also. Yep, there's that MNG tree, and it's the block one. He's missing his block jump up tree this week.
Man.
So it wasn't Biscuits and Gravy O'Grady who got MNG'd. It was Slam and Sammy Bagel. I was wrong on that.
That's his star player right there.
It
Now he's
is.
down to just the other movement up tree. Sad times.
Well, and that guy, Slam and Sammy Bagel, needs one Kaz before bowl season to get another level.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to do that.
Yeah, that's important. So he better get back in the game and get a Kaz next game.
Meanwhile, he's got a dirty player and a block halfling. But
That's too good.
as of yet, every game he has lost a block halfling this season. He's lost a block halfling off the pitch before turn one of his every game so far. And game
Man.
one, it was a Noblar that did it. So that Calvin Cantaloupe his days are numbered. He is a marked man.
Striker, you got to take care of your flings, man.
He says his trees are trying to take care of them, but they keep
Right.
landing by accident.
Grazy saying he just made some money. I'm wondering what he is referring to over there. We'll have to find out.
Oh boy, that sounds ominous.
Yeah. All right.
Seuss's Slaughterers versus Underway Freaks. We've got an Underworld off now, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Grazy's Troll is out this week. Yep, his Troll is out, and one of his 2 extra arms guys is out.
All right. So he's on 840, but going to, is he getting anything or is he just.
He's on 11 guys, and I am at 910. So
he's going to get not very much inducements for his trouble.
he's got a bunch of money, so he can scum something, but you know, he does have a Horns Goblin. I've got a Horns Goblin. He's got an extra arms, which I don't have. He's got a Sneaky Git, which I don't have. He's got a 2 heads, which I don't have. He's got a Diving Tackle, which I don't have. But I have a Troll, which he doesn't have this week.
Yeah, that's a big thing to make up. And you're floating some extra TV and cash there. You're making your way towards
Yep.
the magic number.
Yeah, I think I've been thinking about it, and the minimum viable is 250. With that, I can get a thrower and 2 blitzers.
Okay.
350 will get me all but 1 thrower. So 350 is doable.
Yep.
But it depends on how much I want to commit, because, you know, I could buy another Goblin now and stay the same TV. It depends on how much I think my KO ladder build will work, but that's a separate thing entirely. The second KO tournament, I took the same ladder build that you ran into on the ladder yesterday.
Yep.
That Nuffles Altar. So I don't know if I want to rely on them or rely on this team, but this team's getting Goblin levels and the Troll's close to leveling, and if the Troll levels, that's a big step up towards the main league, even if I'm missing a rat.
If the Troll levels and roll doubles, like that becomes massive, right?
I mean, even just starting with a guard Troll, like, you realize that on the marinated meat, I mostly had empty Trolls because they all died when they picked up their first skill. Like,
Yeah,
literally the
I
first game
understand.
the first game that, like, Puke Vomit or whatever his name was, or Idle Stench, I think it was Idle Stench, had a level. The first game, he got clawed. The first game, he died. I was like, awesome. That was like a season and a half down the drain. Like, I'm used to playing with the reason that I go around the Underworld Discord and I'm like, you don't need skills on your Troll, just take guard, take tentacles first. It's because my Trolls always die. I just play without skills, it's fine. This Troll's perfect just the way he is. As soon as he skills up, he's gonna die.
Well, if he gets blocked, maybe he won't.
Maybe. And maybe he'll just triple skull it.
So how do the underway freaks win this game this week? Like, that seems just really tough for me, being down a Troll and not getting.
I mean, they've got, like, their Goblins do stuff on 2+s and mine don't. Like, that's a viable thing, is that their Goblins do stuff. Also, Bomber is 60 and he gets 70, so he can induce Bomber. And if bombs go off, then that's a path to victory for sure.
All right. I think I like it.
Bomber Dribble Snot, or You go all in and you take Bomber and then you scum Nabla.
Yeah.
And you go straight up, I'm a terrible person. I'm spending all my money on Nabla. Nabla's 130, I believe, and Bomber is 60. So he's out 120 of his cash, but he gets a chainsaw and a Bomber, and
And
they could
you
easily
pretend you're goblins for a game.
right. And now that could completely implode. Right, the Bomber could fumble and blow himself up the first pass, and the chainsaw could murder himself the first time he uses a chainsaw. Or they could wipe my whole team from the pitch, no problem. But if he
Yeah.
wants to, that is within his reach.
Yep. That is an option.
And because I'm trying to keep my team alive, that makes me cry. Otherwise, the Lorax would have been fired long ago if I wasn't trying to just save money.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I guess now we talk about the leaderboard a little bit.
All right.
If you bring up the leaderboard, I believe
Yep.
the
We got
recast has it. So I think the only change from what Cyanide has is that I have Common Zimmer in second solidly with 5 points because he's gotten a play of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas nobody else with 4 points has gotten that. So first is still Rusty because he's killing it up there by killing things.
Right.
Next is Common Zimmer with 5 points, and then you, Little Bits, Tater Spiro, and Nillyman are all at 4 points on my rankings.
Got it.
And then there's Striker with 3 points. So Striker is 1 game back right now with 3 points versus 6 in the lead. Then Underway Freaks, Gracie's team with 2 points, Puke's team, and then I'm just in dead last because I'm terrible at stunties, it turns out.
Well, you're doing some unique stuff over there with your bankroll management.
Well, and to be fair, Underworld are kind of like the Nurgle of stunty in that eventually they bloat like crazy, but they take forever to get going.
They don't bloat; they get good, is what happens. There's a difference.
And they're definitely not Nurgle. They're definitely not Nurgle then.
Fair enough.
They're the High Elves, maybe. Of stunties.
Maybe. Yep, sounds about right.
So far we've had some interesting stuff going on in this league. You know, the games have been kind of funny to watch at times. It looks like it's processing, so it's processing the recast. It's uploaded. It's in processing now. So however long YouTube's going to take on that, and then I can post a link.
All right, sounds good.
Those are like 30 to 40 minutes, and they get you all of the highlights of the games. So if you kind of want to see what happened in everyone else's game, and you can watch it. If you don't want to listen to me ramble, you can mute it, and that's fine. I won't mind at all. I will still get up there to like 3 or 4 views on YouTube, which for me is like good numbers. I don't care.
Right. I plan to go back and check those out. Now I'll admit I haven't watched those yet, so I will go ahead and give them a watch probably tomorrow.
Yeah, if I could figure out a way to do that with like a co-caster, I would, but I can't figure out how to do that since I can't stream anything. So that's beyond my reach.
Right. All right. Is that a wrap?
Yeah, I don't have anything else to say about this week. I think I rambled on enough.
Save the date, 7/20 for the 1-day tournament. If you're interested in cool stuff, there's going to be cool stuff. Stay tuned.
Are there any announcements about format or rules for that yet? Any thoughts on?
Not yet. Just to save the date. I'm hoping to have rules out. Hopefully this weekend.
Okay. Is that all you? True's letting you run that?
That is my show. I welcome input for people that I've bounced my ideas off of. So hit me up.
I might hit you up with an idea or two that you're going to decline, but that's fine.
All right.
All right. Well, I'll see you next time.
All right. Take care.
All right. This is Goblin Marine, and that was the recap.